So there are lots of videos online, and I've posted a few on the Canvas page, but I want to make sure that that we all understand exactly why posture is so important. So as we sing, we are using air to cause a vibration right here in our throat. And the only way that we can sing properly is we continue moving that air through the throat. So basically there's a tube that comes from here to here, and we're just moving air through the tube. Now, the only way that we can make sure that the air is moving properly is if we're not collapsing any part of the tube. If I'm standing like this or sitting like this, I'm collapsing the tube, okay? If I'm doing this, I'm collapsing the tube. If I'm doing this, I'm collapsing the tube. So we want to make sure that everything is aligned properly so that we can keep moving that air and singing the best we can. If we don't align properly, we can actually cause some damage to our voice. It can leak into the muscles of the voice that can actually cause damage to the vocal folds themselves. So, if you will, just stand up. All right, now put your feet right next to each other. Just move around a little bit. You don't have a lot of balance, do you? Okay, we're a little top heavy. We have these tiny little feet at the bottom of our body, and they just don't hold us up well enough. So put your feet about shoulder width apart. Now, shoulder width. If you look in a mirror, you can do this. I'm looking in the camera right now. If your hands are like this, that's about where your shoulders are. Take it down and look, and that's about where my feet are. Okay. Now move one foot slightly forward. The other foot, turn the foot. So we're going to move one foot forward. The other foot, we're going to turn at about a 45-degree angle. This would be a true 45. I'd probably go maybe about a few degrees less. Now my knees can stay free. Because the other problem with having your feet right next to each other like this is that your knees lock. If you stand too long with your knees locked, you're going to pass out. So by putting my feet at shoulder width, by moving one slightly forward or the other one slightly back, whichever you want to sit, way you want to see it, and then putting that 45-degree angle, now we can keep our knees free and we have a little bit of room to move and we still have that sense of balance. So that takes care of both the feet and the knees. As we go higher, we're going to come to the chest. We'll get back to the hands even though they're a little bit lower. The chest, we just want to lift it. So pretend there's a string attached to the top of your chest and it just lifts up and then sets it back down. Another way to do it, look up at the ceiling for a second, put your hands above your head. Now bring your head back down, leave your chest where it is, and just drop the hands. Now this is not going to feel natural to everyone because we don't stand like this, but we should. Okay, this is where our lungs are going to be best because the chest is up, and so it allows lots of room. Now everyone slouch for a second. Now lift the chest. What happened to your ribs? Do it again. Can you feel those ribs expanding as you stand up? Straighter. Okay, that gives your lungs room to move. Now, slouch again. Pay attention to your shoulders. What happens to your shoulders? And just kind of roll back in place. The shoulder is a ball and groove. And so when you're slouching, it's kind of hanging out. But when you stand up straight, it rolls into place. You don't have to pull your shoulders back. They automatically roll to where they need to be. So if I pull my shoulders back, that looks really unnatural. But if I just lift my chest, the shoulders do what they want to do on their own. The head. This is a very interesting thing because we actually don't want it to be 100% straightforward. So everyone just do a spiral, and it gets to the point where your head feels like it doesn't weigh anything. Now you're looking straight ahead. However, we want now take a finger and run it from the base of your neck up the neck till you reach that knob in the back of your head, right? Okay, do it again. One more time. Just kind of feel that. And we want to think a long neck. And what that's going to do is that's going to slightly tilt our head now. Now listen to what happens. Oh, wow, that really did it. So anytime I move my head out of alignment, it's going to affect my sound. Oh, slight tilt, and we're good. Eyes should be on your conductor. If I'm in front of you, if I'm not in front of your eyes, you should be looking out at your audience. If you're ever singing as a soloist, make sure you're singing as and looking at the audience at the same time. Hands just to your sides, unless you're singing as a soloist, then you can use your hands to be expressive, you can use your whole hand to hold a microphone or whatever. But in a choir setting, hands to your sides. Don't play with your pants or your dress or whatever you happen to be wearing. Don't fidget, don't do this. Look, what this does, brings my shoulders forward, it collapses my air. Don't do this, brings my shoulders forward, it collapses the air. Don't do this, same thing. Plus, this is really bad body language anyway. So, standing tall, looking at your audience or looking at your director if you're in a choir, okay? And the head at a slight tilt. That is proper alignment. And now we want to keep our weight of our body on the back leg. If you get, that leg gets tired, just switch. But you want the weight of the body all the way from the top of the head to the floor, aligned on that one leg. And that's going to make it so that your skeleton is holding up your body instead of your muscles. If your muscles are holding up your body, it's going to get tired and you're just going to be exhausted by the end of the day. Watch what happens if I'm just slouching. My muscles are holding me up. But if I'm standing up straight, it's the skeletal structure that's holding me up. That's proper alignment. Now we're ready to breathe.